G'day guys, Potter here. In this week's episode of MuzoBiz, we're going to talk about getting your first gigs and what's involved in contacting venues and stuff like that. And once again, I'm joined by the guys from Abreact. Thanks for coming in, guys.
There you go.
So, obviously, you guys have been around the scene for a little while, but how did you guys initially go about securing those first gigs?
We just, I guess, try to, first of all, just make friends with other bands and just get to know them. Basically like that, and then work out gigs with them. Because a lot of the time these days, a venue wants you to go to them with a whole lineup, rather than just ring them up and say, I'm in this band, I want a gig. It doesn't really work like that. So yeah, we just heard of other bands, went and saw a lot of other bands, go, okay, those guys are cool. They got a similar vibe or whatever to us. And then get to know them, make friends, and it's like, how about we do a show sometime and go from there, basically. So that was basically the easy way to do it. But, I mean, obviously you can email venues or ring them.
Yep.
I wouldn't suggest using Facebook or anything like that, but they generally see that messaging them through those kind of means is a little bit professional.
Yeah.
And sometimes they just basically ignore that kind of stuff. So if a venue's got an email address on their Facebook page or something like that, you definitely use that.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're generally pretty happy to talk to most people.
So are you guys still going about the same way of getting gigs, or has it sort of changed a little bit now that you've progressed?
We kind of have a dude who books for us.
Okay.
From a Destruct agency. And so he books some of the shows, but a lot of the shows we book ourselves. And because of what's been going on recently, there's a couple of venues that have started just contacting us because of the Triple J stuff or whatever. They've heard about us or seen us. So it's kind of working itself out at the moment. So it's weird, but it's cool. But yeah, the same thing. Like, we might go to a show and there might be a few bands we don't know, and they play, and we're like, wow, those guys are awesome. As simple as go meet them.
Yep.
Go, how about we play a gig?
Yeah. So now that you guys have got like a sort of booking agent, is that a path you'd recommend young bands go down, or?
At the start, you're basically, it's like you're a raw nerve. You're out there exposed, and you just wear your heart on your sleeve and beg most people. And then after a while, through the way that Chad was just saying, it gets easier. You get to know people slowly. And then we got to a stage where we got known a little bit, I guess. Made friends with some people, the right people, I suppose. And then it managed to get to a point where we could, like where a booking agent was willing to work with us. But getting to that point was pretty hard. Like I said, beg, borrow, and steal, pretty much. And then Dave from Destruct took over and started, he started booking a lot of shows. He already had a lot of contacts. He believed in us. So he just spread us out all over the place. And not just Dave, there's another one that we've got in South Australia, Mark Pulst from Black Helmet Booking. Once again, just got to know him after a while. And he also believes in us, and so between those two and ourselves, it's sort of easy to spread all over the place. And then the next step was we sort of over the last 6 to 8 months took the next step up, and like Chad was saying, now we don't really have to work for it anymore. We've got venues and other bands asking us to play, particularly here in Bendigo. When bands come to Bendigo, they want a local act. We get asked a lot to play in Bendigo, so it's nowhere near as hard as it used to be.
So now that you guys have got like a sort of booking agent, is that a path you'd recommend young bands go down, or?
Absolutely. Here in Bendigo, for example, we know the owner of the Newmarket, and basically we can walk in the door, say, Dallas, give us your book, we want to book a date. And that can be a bit of a trap because you can end up playing there once a month and no one comes. But in other towns, particularly in regional centres, there's other bands in similar situations. So you get to know them. You say, I can get you a gig here whenever you want, and they can do the same for you. And then, just get to know people in that situation.
So thanks for coming in, guys, and letting us know about securing the gigs. It's much appreciated. And if anybody out there would like some more info about getting gigs, or think you might have some advice on some topics we may have brushed over, just make sure you drop us a line either via the website or via our Facebook page. And also make sure you click subscribe on our YouTube channel. And we'll catch you next time on MuzoBiz.